massive breaking news. Brian McTaggart with this. The Astros have agreed to deal to reacquire Carlos Correa in a trade with the Minnesota Twins. John Heyman, one of our many insiders working the phones right now. John, this is a massive trade. What can you tell us?
Yeah, absolutely. When Bob Nightingale suggested this was a possibility a day or so ago, I think few believed it, and it looks like it is coming to fruition. They are finalizing the deal. Correa is on board with going back to Houston, where he starred, obviously won World Series there. They love him. He loves it. He loved it in Minnesota, frankly, and they liked him very much, too. But this is the one team that he was going to prove to. Obviously, the finances were something to work out, and apparently they are working them out as we speak, and it will be a deal. Correa will go back to Houston. Obviously, they lost Paredes to injury. He's out for a couple of months. That's a big blow, but he's going to have to play third base because obviously Jeremy Pena, an all-star shortstop, is their shortstop now. And obviously Correa is a terrific defender. Everybody believes he can be good at third. He was willing to do it in free agency for the Mets and apparently willing to do it again for his old team in Houston.
Now, what is Carlos Correa's contract? I mean, this is not a rental player, correct?
Right.
So he's got 3 more years. As you look at the roster, Paredes may be out for the rest of this year, but you got Christian Walker at first base. Pena's going to come back and be your shortstop, but free agency is coming up for him.
Is he, though?
So maybe Correa, I guess, could be the long-term answer at shortstop. I'm trying to think about this, John, beyond just the 2025 season. How do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, Pena's not a free agent, so, he's still going to be the shortstop next year. He was close to a deal before he changed agents recently, but he will likely become a free agent at some point. And Houston has trouble holding on to their great free agents, but apparently they like to bring some of them back, and they're going to bring Correa back. It's quite something. Correa is a terrific defender, can play third. It's a little surprising. We'll see how the finances work out here, but Houston is a go-for-it team. Obviously, they've lost Bregman, they lost Tucker, they've previously had lost Correa, and they are still in first place. They do a terrific job, and I give them credit. And, they've tried several other things as well, but this is the one that works. Correa wants to be there, and it's good for the Twins because they had a little bit of a money situation in there as well.
Huge trade. John Heyman, thank you. Carlos Correa traded from the Twins back to the Houston Astros. Just from contract perspectives, Pena's got 2 more years. Isaac Paredes has 2 more years. But I do remember Jeremy Pena's extension talks were tabled. If you remember that.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that moment in time impacts this move. Because Paredes, they love. He's going to be back in the fold. We've got Yordan Alvarez. You got Christian Walker's in the fold. This is 3 more years at $92 million for Carlos Correa.
And he's not playing third for 9 years, $92 million. I'm not convinced he's going to say, oh, okay, I'll go play third. He's an alpha male who can still play short. They got a problem. They just do.
Well, he might do it for this year.
No,
exactly.
I'm telling you, even this year.
If Pena comes back before Paredes, he's playing third base. And he had a no-trade clause, so he must be okay with playing third base, even on a short-term basis.
That's what we're hearing. I'm just saying, there's more to this dynamic, I think. Because who did he train at short? He trained Pena coming along after him. Carlos Correa is not going to go.
Yeah, but Pena's a Gold Glove shortstop.
I get it, but Carlos Correa, he thinks himself way higher than that. I just can't see him saying, "Okay, yeah, third base."
It sounds like he's doing this for all the right reasons.
Well, the bottom line is they'll find a way to make this work. This is one of the great postseason players of our generation.
Absolutely.
Now, in a perfect world, the Astros wanted a left-handed bat. This is a heavily right-handed hitting team, but this is a premier right-handed bat.
I just feel like he's such a leader. And he has not been gone that long. And I don't know. We'll see. It's a great acquisition. And you can talk about next year all you want, but I still think that factors into right now. And if I'm Pena, I got to seriously go, what are we doing here, guys?
On the other side
you
of this,
do. You got to have a conversation. That's serious.
On the other side of this, before we throw it over to Steve and Joel Sherman, Byron Buxton's like, hey, I want to be with the Minnesota Twins. I love it here. No trade clause. I'm not going anywhere. Does this change the way Byron Buxton looks at?
Well, it obviously did for Carlos Correa, right? Things have changed a lot in Minnesota. They thought they had a contending team. They're a big-time seller right now. Teams for sale. The stability of the franchise now is in question. So, yeah, if you're a veteran player, you start looking elsewhere where the grass might be greener.
Wow.
The difference, though, Buxton's a twin. Drafted, developed, came through. This is his organization. Carlos Correa wasn't a twin. He's an Astro. And so...
Yeah, but Buxton is committed to this team and the direction.
Yeah, but Greg, that's my point. He is committed to the Twins, wherever direction we're going. And this is the first time he's back being himself. Look, for a guy to say, I don't want to be traded, when every contending team in baseball would have loved that Byron Buxton. You tell me the Mets wouldn't have had him? Tell me the Yankees wouldn't have got him? You tell me the Dodgers wouldn't get him?
Wait, all that can happen. We're about an hour and 45 minutes to go. Anything can happen. Hey, Steve Phillips, Joel Sherman, I want you to weigh in here, fellas.
Steve, you know what I'm talking about.
Carlos Correa traded back to the Houston Astros. What do you think?
Yeah, so here's the thing. I had a conversation 2 spring trainings ago on my spring training tour with Sirius MLB Network Radio. I go into Twins camp, and Carlos Correa pulled me aside in the dugout. He said, you're a baseball guy. I want to get your opinion about this. How about, do you think a guy like me might be better served being a third baseman where my offense can play and I get off of shortstop, I can focus on that? Because remember the World Baseball Classic, Francisco Lindor played shortstop, Correa played third, and Lindor and Correa raked in the WBC. And he was talking about Brooks Lee maybe becoming the shortstop there in Minnesota. I actually think that Carlos Correa welcomes the notion of going to third base because he thinks it's going to help his offensive game, and I think he'll accept that move, I think, pretty readily.
I know he will accept the move. He signed a contract 3 years ago with the Mets to play third base next to Francisco Lindor for 11 years, and then he failed the physical. So I know in the right situation, and I'm sure he loves Jeremy Pena. He probably helped train him. At this point, he knows he could get off his feet. And I understand why Carlos Correa, while in Minnesota, has to say, I never want to leave Minnesota. But anybody who's close to Carlos Correa says Carlos Correa wants to win championships and to make a late run at maybe the Hall of Fame even. He's a think about how he plays in the postseason. He's not going to get that shot in Minnesota. The owner in Houston loves him. Jim Crane, he tried to keep him. So my thought is to protect his legs, he's going to move to third base. I know he would play third base. He was going to do it.
Yeah, interesting for
And he
sure.
has the baseball IQ to be able to do it.
He does. I know they love that in Minnesota. They loved him there. But this chance to go back home in Houston, a major move by the Astros.
Yeah, Steve. The Astros had to do something with the injury to Isak Paredes. John Morosi put this out there. Correa has agreed to play third base in Houston. The source confirms. JP joins us now.
I get it.
This is a guy that probably wouldn't do this, switch positions, unless it was a perfect situation. This looks like the perfect situation for Carlos Correa.
It does, Greg, and that is the big news that for now, to begin this second chapter of Correa playing in Houston, he will begin playing at third base. And a lot of it is the context of the roster as we speak right now. We know Paredes out for the season, Pena on the injured list. This is what is needed right now. And remember, the Astros also acquired Urias to help just give them some additional flexibility on the infield. They need healthy position players. And also, to Joel's point earlier, it is the likely best case for Correa's future development to move to a corner for the reasons that Steve mentioned as well. I certainly understand the idea and the desire for him to play shortstop at the outset of his career, but it's a very different circumstance right now. And it's my understanding that as a condition of this trade happening at all, that Correa had to give his word to the parties involved, yes, I will play third base. My information right now is that he has given that assent and affirmation. He will be the third baseman of the Astros, and he will get quite an ovation when he steps back to the plate at Daikin Park.
I guess the question is, will he be the shortstop immediately? Because Pena is out, so he's not going to go play any shortstop.
My understanding is he will play third base.
Okay.
That is what I've been told. Again, the lineup card belongs to Joe Espada, but what I was told is that he has agreed to play third base. And when you think about it, Greg, it certainly behooves everybody here for him to get comfortable at the position that's going to be his long-term position in Houston. They have Dubon, who can more than capably handle shortstop right now, and third base is where they clearly have a need. And remember, too, with Paredes, they could potentially move him to second base next year. They could have Altuve play the outfield. But those are 2026 questions. The issue in front of us right now is